So everyone's always asking me to tell the story about the three bears. I happen to have the book that I wrote about it. It's called The Three Bears. And so here we are. Once upon a time, I was living in a place in southern New Jersey called the Pine Barrens. Now, other people call it the magical enchanted forest. And one of my neighbors were the bears. We grew up together. Now, they got a lot of bad press. Somebody wrote a story a while ago about this Goldilocks. I knew Goldilocks. She was in my kindergarten class all the way up through high school. And let me tell you, high maintenance. So, whatever you heard about her and the bears, just, forget about it because I'm here to tell you the true story and set everything straight. So, once upon a time, there were three bears. That's the way most stories start. That's not the truth at all. First of all, there were only two bears. There was Mr. Bear and Ms. Bear. And they were living together in a cave in the side of a hill in the magical, enchanted forest. Everything was going along great. They were doing what bears do, pretty much having a party every day, And we used to go over and visit, had a good time. Anyway, you can't really have a party every day, and it just, it's not the same after a while. It catches up with you, and so they decided to settle down. So they weren't married or anything. Bears rarely get married. They're not allowed in churches as a general thing. And a civil marriage between two bears is really, it's just unheard of. It's not even legal in California, as far as I know. Anyhow, so one day they're out in the forest, walking around, taking a walk, and they come across this orphaned little cubby bear. And of course they had to take him home. Mr. Bear said, don't worry about it, everything's gonna be fine, we'll start a little family here. We can use him as a tax deduction on our income tax, it'll be fine. Mrs. Bear, she was now calling herself that. She said, yeah, of course, we're gonna take care of the bear, right? So everything was going along pretty well for a couple of years, but that bear, that baby bear, it could eat. Well, I'm telling you, and he was growing so fast, and the cave was so small that they were just having a hard time keeping up. They couldn't keep it clean and tidy like they liked. And so one day, they decided to go house hunting. As I recall, the first place that they came to on the house hunting was a second floor walk-up condo. It had 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and a kitchenette. Really, when it came down to it, it wasn't much bigger than the cave. So Mrs. Bear said, too small, and they moved on to the next place. The next place they came to was a large, somewhat tumbled down fixer-upper. As they walked up the drive, checked the place out, the agent was there, the real estate agent, saw the bears coming and just let them go in and take the tour by themselves, really. So it was huge. There was 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, had a basement. Mr. Bear claimed the basement for his man cave, bear cave. But it was just too big. Huge kitchen, like I said. It had a pantry and a scullery. Scullery was a place that special room just to clean the dishes. So it did need a lot of work. And Mrs. Bear just, it was going to be too much for her. So she said, too big, let's move on. The third place they came to was just right. It was a little cottage, sat in its own idyllic park-like grounds, had a front porch for taking an afternoon snooze, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, had a basement for the bear cave. Just right. They all said, all together. Sold on the spot. They moved in the next day and lived happily ever after. That's the story, true story of the 3 bears, my good friends.